Welcome back to MKE Gadgets. Before I start today's video, I have a request from my friend Josh. And if there's any projects that you have in your house, your shop, your garage, your yard, your basement, that you want to see me build, make, modify, put a comment down below. And if I can, I will try to accommodate you. So today's project is a review of other projects that I have done. On YouTube, there's quite a few videos, and they're called hashtag shop-made tools. And today I thought I would show some of my shop-made tools. So let me clear, and we'll bring them in one by one. We'll talk about them. Well, if you're like me in the shop and you use a lot of taps and you break them sometimes, and this is a 1/4 broken tap. And I took a piece of oak, I sharpened the tip, and I made it into a scribe. Now this tap is high-speed steel. It holds that point very nice. So the whole thing cost me nothing. I made this out of a piece of scrap oak and a broken tap. One of my favorite tools. Keeping with the tapping theme, if you have a tap wrench like this, and some of them have centers in there, you start out tapping in a lathe, drill press, or mill, and when you turn in this, sometimes it wants to go sideways. I made this tool. This is spring-loaded. It's made out of aluminum and it's hex, so it won't roll away from you on your table. It has 1/4-inch grooves in there so you can tell the depth you're tapping. And with this in your lathe or mill or drill press, it holds it and puts a little spring tension on there, so when you're tapping, you break less taps. Continuing on with our tapping theme, you got your tap wrench again. This part here goes in your tailstock. And now you can power tap with your tap handle. Just turn your RPMs down and use plenty of tapping fluid. Worst case scenario, if you break a tap, you can make a really nice scriber. A great first project for a lathe is a brass hammer. This project, you don't have to thread it all. A brass head, aluminum handle, and a piece of vinyl tubing. Gives you a little cushion on there. And a roll pin in there, so it's not going to fly away. Very easy, simple project when you get a lathe. This is a center finding tool, designed to go in a 2x4. So if you want to find the center of your 2x4, and this is a transfer punch, put that in there, tap with your hammer, and now you got a punch that's right in the center there. You want to use it for scribing, turn it sideways and press down, and you can scribe a line. You can see I scribed a line on there. Nice thing about this is I use Lexan. It's transparent, it won't rust or soak up oils. I got a couple magnets in there. My transfer punch stays, and the pins are stainless steel. That's not going to fall off of there. So when you want to thread on your lathe external threads, this is a die holder I made. Here's a die in there for 1/4 threads. 1/2-inch shaft you put into your tailstock of your lathe. And this slides on. So as your material is turning, you can thread. And once you get to the depth you want, you release and turn it off. Just happened to have a hunk of aluminum that worked out perfect. For storage, I put the handle sideways. This is a stirred V-block. I got it at a flea market. And here I made a clamp for it out of aluminum scraps I had laying around. Some stainless steel threaded rod. I like to use stainless steel cap screws because they're not going to rust. And a little engine turning. Kind of makes it look like a 60s British sports car dashboard. So those are shop-made tools. I'm going to show you a couple shop-modified tools. When I go to trade shows, they hand out these little screwdrivers for nothing, and they have an advertisement on them. I like to sharpen them into a point, and now I got a nice scribe. I had this hammer for many years, and you can buy these replacement faces online. I chose to make one out of nylon and one out of aluminum, out of scraps I had laying around. Same thing with this hammer. I bought this one in the flea market. I went with brass and aluminum. I paid $3 for the hammer, and I used scrap I had laying around. I bought this wrench at a flea market for $3, 3/4 inch. I call it a socket wrench. On the other side, the open end I cut off, and I epoxied on a golf ball. This wrench hangs down in my Bridgeport mill, and it's used on a vise. Here's another 3/4 inch wrench I got at a flea market for $2. Did the same thing. I cut the open end off, epoxied the golf ball. This is used on my lathe and a tool post. The golf ball on the end really makes it comfortable in your hand. Please support me by subscribing to my channel. I really appreciate the support. Thanks, we'll see you tomorrow.